Hey, everybody. I am so excited about today's show because I am with Ken Walls, the live streaming king. And we're going to be talking about how to use live streaming to build your business and add social media proof and just make you a rock star. Okay, I am with Ken Walls. So pumped on this. And I want to tell you, everybody out there watching me right now or watching me in the future, because I'm uploading this to YouTube, Ken Walls is the person, the single individual that turned me on to StreamYard. When I saw him live streaming, I saw the example he was setting, and I reached out to him and I said, dude, what technology are you using? And I jumped in, I bought it. And, my first few ones were a little rough, but I kept watching Ken and really set the example. So Ken, number one, thank you for helping me personally with that. And number two, I want to thank you for really setting the example of what you're doing with live streaming. So please welcome Ken Walls.
Dude, thank you. I'm excited to be here, man. I'm glad to see you. I'm really happy to see, and I've been watching you, man. I'm really happy to see you utilizing this technology too, man. Because you've got, I was watching you when you were doing your coffee shop thing, yeah. and you're a brilliant dude, man. You got a lot of a great message to get out there. So
thank you. Coming from you, that actually means a lot to me. So thanks. So yeah. Ken, live streaming, it is so huge right now. And I think it's just an undervalued opportunity. Can you kind of take me through the journey where you started with live streaming, why, kind of your why, and then your growth through it, and then some of the things you've been experiencing?
So, back in 2014, I've done website development for like 26 years. And in Columbus, Ohio, I dominated the market. I was always in the top 1 or 2 spots in Google and I've always played around with video stuff and I was doing videos on websites before YouTube even existed. And so, I've always been in the technology realm and marketing with it and all that. And so back in 2014, I saw, I hired a kid that had no sales experience, and I went to YouTube looking for some. I thought, well, I can train this guy, but I don't really have the time. So let me find some training on YouTube. I can just go here, watch these 15 videos on how to sell and good luck. And so I came across Grant Cardone's video and I was like, who is this lunatic? I had no, I had no idea. And I've told him that. I've said that to him. Like, dude, you're freaking crazy, man.
And he'll agree with you.
He will, but I was like, man, and I don't know his vibe. I was like, man, this dude's putting off a vibe I've not seen. I came from was brought up on Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Jeffrey Gitomer and all these awesome people. But then Grant comes on the scene and I'm like, what is this dude on? What's going on with him? And so I call his office and I'm like, okay, they have this Cardone University thing. Let me check this out. And I got signed up over 30 grand. I invested in that and getting it, from my salespeople. And I kept he was going, people were like, he's going live on Periscope. And I'm like, well, I have an Android and Periscope wasn't available on Android. And I'm like, and I was the antichrist of Apple, by the way. I was like, I'll never own an Apple product. Steve Jobs was the devil. And, I just was like, I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why. But so I went and I got an iPhone because Periscope was only available on iPhone. I had 18 Androids. That's how many I had. All my people had my employees. I gave them all phones. So I went in, I get an iPhone just so I could watch Grant and just so I could maybe go live on Periscope. And dude, I kept, and Grant's like, oh, this you gotta use every line available to get your information out there. You got to put it out everywhere. And this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I watched him say that maybe twice. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. I got to go live. I got to do what he's doing because this is powerful. And so I did. And I was nervous as a hooker in church the first time I did it. I was, dude. I was freaking out, man. I mean, freaking out. I was like, all right. I was telling all my employees, all right, everybody sit down. We're in the conference room. Sit down. I'm getting ready to do a live stream. And they're all looking at me like I had a third eye. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Everybody just get out. And then I'm like, yell at my assistant, no, you stay in here. And then I'm like, no, go. And they were like, dude, you're crazy. Just freaking go live already. So I went live, didn't know what the heck I was talking about, didn't know what I was saying. And over the following year, I think I did, in that 365 days, I probably did, I don't know, 700 or 800 live streams. I mean, I was doing it like 3, 4, 5 times a day sometimes.
This is on Periscope.
On Periscope. And then,
it's owned by Twitter. Twitter bought out Periscope.
Yeah. And so, there was also another platform called, what was it? It was Meerkat. And then, I started, like, Grant and I really started, like, he would let me come on, take over his Meerkat, and I'd get on there and talk, and, we'd have it. And then I, started meeting other people, and I was using another platform called Blab. And so I was, doing all of these things, and just, I started noticing, and Grant always said, look, man, you got to get more attention. Money follows attention. And I was like, all right, and here's the thing, Edwin, I don't think, and I wasn't aware of this, man. I really wasn't aware. There was no conscious awareness of this, but I was in a bubble. I was building websites, and in my mind, I believed that my market was Columbus. Like I never thought about, like, well, you could do a website for somebody in Las Vegas or in Hawaii or Australia. You could do them anywhere, like, but it never occurred to me. It just didn't, as stupid as that sounds, it didn't occur to me that I could do this, across the globe. And that's where I give Grant so much credit, because he literally helped me remove the blinders. One of his guys flew up from Miami to my office, spent a couple of days with me, and he put on Facebook that he was coming to see the king of SEO or whatever. And this guy in New Zealand called my office because of that Facebook post and said, I need SEO and a website. I want to be at the top of Google and blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, holy crap, New Zealand. And we got the deal. We got the client, and we did the website, and we got it, and we got him ranked in Google. And it was like, all of a sudden the blinders fell off, and I was like, holy mother of God, this is a big world. And I've been playing small right here in Columbus, and did not even, and I was doing great financially. I was doing great, but I didn't realize how much more was available, man. And that's what live streaming's done.
Great. So live streaming had a couple benefits. Number one, it really popped you out of a bubble and got you to think globally versus just locally.
Yep. Big time.
Because now your feed, because people were connected on Facebook and Periscope, they could see you anywhere in the world. Number two, you didn't wait for the perfect live streaming skills to kick in. You just did it, and it was baptism by fire.
That's exactly it.
And I think a lot of people overthink it, and they go, well, I've got to have my branding perfect. I got to have my message all dialed in before I go out there in the world.
Dude, and that's, I literally just got finished with a coaching client of mine, and I said, stop overthinking. You got to take action. You got to just take action. Now, I I'm not saying that there isn't training that I took, because there is. There's training that I paid for. I took. I've paid for Grant's training. I've been coached by Grant directly. I've been in his office with him. I'm good friends with Jeffrey Gittimer, who's helped me with a lot of stuff too. But here's the thing. I think most people don't realize that, you may feel insecure about a thing, like whatever that thing is, right? The only way to get past that is you got to take some sort of steps towards that. Like you got to take action. If you're feeling insecure about going live, there's only one way to overcome that. You have to go live. Like you have to, and you're going to look like a fool. You will.
Amen. I say that all the time. The first 25, 30 videos you make, you're going to look stiff. You're going to look awkward.
Yep.
But the only way out is the way through.
It's absolutely, dude. And so people don't, they think, well, okay, I'm sure I might, but I really don't want to look foolish. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I have my logo right and my branding, and I got to learn this StreamYard, and I've got to learn how to do this, and I got to learn how to do that. And then once I do that, then I'll be able to do this, and then I'll be able to hit that go live button. I'll be excited and happy at that moment. And the problem is they never get around to actually hitting that live button, because then all the other distractions that we allow in our lives happen. And I was going to do a live, dude. I've done a live stream, I think, just about every single day for 6 years. I don't think I've missed a day, but I may have here and there, a couple here and there.
Yeah.
I've done it at 11:45 in the evening, where I've seen you
do that.
I know.
We're friends on Facebook.
But I'm like, you know what? I haven't done a live stream today, and that's just not my thing. I got to go live and talk, no matter what it's about. It could be about, I don't know, presidential elections. It could be about anything. It could be about my business, like
right.
how to tune up your website, or it could be about my coaching business, how to get more confident, or whatever. It could be anything, but people need to go live, man. And I have a great analogy for that. I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah. What's that? Well,
here, you're in Vegas, right?
I'm in the Las Vegas area.
Yeah. So, if all of the networks, and I don't remember their channel numbers, but ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, if they all got together and they had a meeting and they sent me to you as their representative of the whole conglomerate, and I said, Edwin, hey, we all had a meeting and we decided we want you to run ads on all of the networks. Run ads anytime you want. They can be any length you want, and they can have any message that you want. Just run ads on our networks, and it's 100% free. Would you say no?
No, I would say yes.
Right. You'd be an idiot if you said you'd
be an idiot.
You could win the Darwin Award. Like, that might be the dumbest guy in the Vegas area. And so Facebook, if it were a country, just Facebook, if it were a country, would be the largest country on planet Earth. That's
true. And you bring up another point. I just saw a statistic that YouTube has more daily viewers than all network television networks combined. BBC, right. CNN, you take them all, put them all. YouTube beats them all.
And here we are with 99.99% of the population that's on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter are not using its live streaming capabilities. And here's the other part. The algorithm, at least the Facebook algorithm, and I'm pretty sure the YouTube algorithms favors it as well, but Facebook, the algorithm favors live streamed videos more than any other kind of post you can do. Meaning, if you have 5,000 friends and you do take a selfie, you grab your phone, you're like, let me do a selfie. And then you post that out. Well, you might get a bunch of likes, but you're going to get a lot more views on a live stream video than that selfie or any other kind of post you can do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. So tell me, you scaled, you dedicated, you worked yourself through the awkwardness, you bought in. And so tell me kind of some of the early wins. Like you started live streaming. I know for me, I kept doing it and nothing happened. And I got a little discouraged going, why am I keep doing this?
Yeah.
But then finally things start to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of the things that started to happen. Like how long did you have to live stream before the impact, you started to see the impact on your growth? And what did that impact look like?
That's a great question, man. Actually, it was pretty fast. And let me tell you why. I pay attention. I listen. Well, that's a skill that a lot of people don't have, is just being able to listen. Like,
so true.
Just listen, like,
Just
right.
listen.
And so I watched Grant Cardone like a freaking hawk, man. And I listened to my life. It was like every breath I had for a while hinged on what he was going to say.
Right.
And it wasn't because I was a fanboy. I've had people accuse me. I love Grant. He's a friend. But his wisdom is what I was picking up. And so he said something early on that I don't know when it was, but at some point I heard him say, man, you got to learn how to flow power to power. And I was like, what does that mean? What does, and then he would explain what flowing power to power means. And I was like, oh, it's kind of the How to Win Friends and Influence People thing by Dale Carnegie. That's what he's talking about. Like flowing power to other people, helping other people grow their businesses and their brands. And how can I use social media and live streaming to do that? And I figured it out pretty quick, dude. Grant had a webinar that he was doing. It was $50 to attend the webinar. Well, I had bought my seat, and then I was doing a live stream on Periscope, and I was like, and I had, I don't know, 30, 40 people on. And I was like, you guys you got to be ready, because Grant's doing this freaking thing and you got to be at this webinar. It's $50. It's in 2 weeks. Like go to grantcardone.com right now and get it. And this was the magical moment.
Okay.
Some girl, and I don't remember who she was, but she said, God, I wish she commented on the thing. God, I wish I could be there. I just can't afford it. And I thought, man, if you can't afford $50, you really need to be there. Like you really need to be there. $50 is the problem.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know what? Here's what I'll do. If you can answer a question, I grabbed Grant's Sell or Be Sold book. I said, if you can answer this question properly out of Grant's book, and you tag him and you tag me on Twitter, both of us at the same time, I'll buy your damn ticket for you, and you don't have to worry about it. And I said, by the way, the first person to answer this is going to win the ticket. How about that? Let's make it safe. Let's make it fair. So dude, I did this live on Periscope, and I opened it up. I flipped to a random thing and I read something. I said, all right, so fill in the blank, whatever the last final word is for that. You got to answer that. Tag me, tag Grant, go. And I'm sitting here on live. I had another, and I was sitting here going, okay, I'm looking at Twitter. I was looking at Twitter on the computer and had Periscope on my phone, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, and the first answer, what? And dude, it was like, I don't know, 30 people tried to answer it, but the first one is the one that won the ticket. So I called Grant's office, said, hey, so-and-so, this is their email address. They win a ticket. I already PayPal'd you the money, so it's done. And they were like, wow, that's cool. And then I got addicted to it, man, over the next couple of weeks.
Right.
I ended up giving away 14 tickets to Grant's webinar out of my pocket. I paid for it.
Wow.
But let me tell you something. That was the best $700 I've ever spent, because I won a trip on Grant's private jet. And in lieu of being on his jet, they called to have him, schedule him flying in to pick me up in Columbus. And I said, you know what? I'd rather come down there and sit with Grant for a couple of hours and pick his brain and get some business advice. And they were like, oh, okay. So, I mean, that saved them 20, 30 grand in fuel, right? So I flew to Miami. Grant was so gracious, gave me 3 hours of time. had lunch catered in. I sat at his desk. We ate lunch together, and he literally changed my life. At that moment, dude, I didn't even have a fan page. I didn't have anything. Now I've got 75,000 followers on my fan page, and it's crazy.
Right. So you invested in helping others. You flowed the power to power
other people. Yeah.
other people. You invested in it. You didn't know how the return was going to come about, but you had so much belief in that principle of helping that it came back to you. Hey guys, if you've just joined, I am with Ken Walls, and I'm just going to show. You just go to kenwalls.com. Now, Ken, I'm just a little plug here. You have a course.
I do.
That people can purchase about how to do this live streaming stuff, and then go to kenwalls.com and find out about it.
Well, you can go there. You can just go to growliveacademy.com, which is the course. But you know, the course is more than learning how to live stream. It was, when I started this course, it was going to be a 6-week course with 6 videos per week. And dude, I ended up, I'm an overachiever, man. I over deliver. I have 100, and I think there's 115 videos in that course now. And I have more I'm adding. I'm showing you how to use TikTok for business. I'm showing you how to use some really cool effects on TikTok that you can use for your business to grow your business. I'm showing you how to use Instagram and grow your Instagram audience and do some really cool. I'm showing all kinds of stuff in the course. So, and you'll become a live stream master in the course.
Okay, good. So they take your course, Live Stream Master Plus, you're going to go onto other platforms. Back to the interview here. So I have a question for you. Tell me some of the opportunities that have come to you financially as a direct result of the live stream. Now, I know there's the general brand awareness, but can you give me a story or two of someone who found you, then you guys connected, and then some business deal came as a result? Because, you know, one of the things I want to focus on Growth Driven, this show, is not just talking about stuff, but what are the exact things, the dots that are connected that result in, like, my ROI went up. My stats, I did this and I followed this pattern, and then bam, growth occurred. Can you give me one of those stories or a couple of stories? I'm sure there's so many.
No, it's literally, it's every single thing that I've done over the last 6 years is a result. I don't cold call. I haven't made a cold call in, I don't even know how long. Hopefully Grant's not watching right now. That's your problem, Ken. You need to pick up that phone. I can just hear him in my ear. But like, I don't cold call. I hate cold calling. And I don't know anybody that wakes up in the morning and goes, man, I cannot wait to cold call today.
But Ken, I think this is a great takeaway right here. Look, this is an alternative. If you're sitting there not with enough business and you hate cold calling, here's the alternative. So it's either do this, do live streaming, or do cold calling.
I would much rather have customers coming to me. And, you know, every single day of my life, I get messages, either Facebook messages, or I get messages via email or text messages because I was referred to somebody that are saying, hey, I'd like to ask you about your coaching, or hey, I need help with a website, or hey, how do I get your course? I want to get your course. And so everything that, like, let's say that, name a business. Give me a business type, and I'll tell you how I would use live streaming to grow it.
Excellent example. I have a couple. I'm going to give you two.
Okay.
The first one is either a bookkeeper, CPA, kind of that and that.
Let's do CPA, bookkeeper, CPA. Let's start there. CPA. Which my CPA does live streams, by the way.
Perfect example.
How I met him. So you know, what's your market? First off, where is it? How far out do you want to go? And then you just start doing live streams talking about the different tax laws and how you help clients without mentioning clients' names, so you're not breaking any rules.
Right.
You know, how you helped. Give specific examples. People love stories. right? And if you're a good storyteller, you'll draw people in. And if you're not a good storyteller, then take my course and learn how to become one. But like, people love stories. So if I was a CPA and I saved a client, $100,000 on their taxes last year, well, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to say, a lot of people aren't aware of the ABC law because their accountant is afraid of it, or they just don't know. They're not aware. They don't stay up to date. And so what I did is I had a client that was, blah, blah, blah. And I would talk about the savings on the taxes or the bookkeeping. I found my client was, had an employee embezzling money, and I was able to find that because I know where to look, and, or whatever. So like you get on and you tell stories. Here's the thing, dude. I'll bet you that if there's a CPA watching right now, or if a CPA or bookkeeper sees this, and I said, do you have a Facebook page? Most people are going to say yes, of course. Most, not all. I realize there's the exception.
Yeah, of course.
Most people are going to say, yeah, I have a Facebook page. And I'll go, how many friends do you have on there? 500. Okay. So out of your 500 friends, how many of them file taxes? hopefully all 500, right? And then you say, okay, and
even those that don't file taxes are still potential clients.
They need your help. They're going to
really need your help,
right? So you say, out of your 500 friends, how many of those people know what you do for a living? And it's the most magical question I ask my clients, because here's the crazy thing. Is most of them say, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many know what I do. And I say, if you were just to guess, I don't know, maybe, how many of them do business with you currently on your friends list?
That's a great question right there.
Right.
How many of those 500 are clients?
Right. And I've had, most of the time it's somewhere around 1%. 1%. I don't know, maybe 5 out of 500. And I go, okay, so here's the thing. If 5 out of 500, that means there are 495 other people on your friends list that are not doing business with you. That is 495 leads just on your personal friends list, and they don't even know that you exist. Do you see that as a problem?
Yeah. So here's the thing. You bring up a good point. We're already connected with individuals. They just don't know what we do.
That's right. And we think that, but I did a post 2 weeks ago telling everybody.
Right. Yeah. Well, that post reached about 3 people, and those 3 people didn't remember it because 2 were on Chardonnay and the other one was tired.
Right. One guy was driving down the road.
Right. Yeah. Like, it's really, and the one things that you bring up, and I think you are the example of, I've learned in, because I've studied advertising since, junior college.
Yeah.
Just repetition of message. How many times do you see a Coca-Cola brand or an ad on a daily basis? How many times do we hear about, like I live in Las Vegas, and there's this guy called Kettle Air Conditioners. Yeah. I think he runs 8,000 ads on every local station per day.
How about this? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. McDonald's, right.
McDonald's. What about Ted Turner said, early to bed, early to rise, work like a dog, and advertise. And so, like, dude, like, this is free. It's free.
Yeah. It's like, it's free. And you know what? So if you really want to make it sexy, Ken, if you want to go beyond free, you can get StreamYard for what, $30 a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get a nice little camera for what? One of those Logitech cameras for $150?
Yeah, so they're a little higher because of the pandemic, but yeah, $200.
Okay, so $200. You get a nice microphone like this for $180.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So for and now you get a nice camera, a nice microphone, $30 a month, and now you look like a friggin' professional in comparison.
Yeah, it's true.
To the other 400 on your that you're connected to.
But I would go live on Periscope from my phone,
Right.
and I would pick up clients. I'd get phone calls. I'd say, hey, go over to my website, kenwalls.com, and check it out. And if you have questions, hit me up from there, man. All my contact info's there,
Yeah. Ken, for 3 years, I've done every edition of Caffeinated Content on an iPhone 7.
Yeah.
Everyone. I just go to a coffee shop, throw it on the wall, and I go, hey, welcome to Caffeinated Content. Yeah, yep. You've already got this right here is the greatest marketing device.
Yeah.
I'm showing my iPhone to those who are on a podcast. This is the greatest marketing device, and you're right.
It's true.
And now we can connect with the world. We talked about the account, answer questions like tax questions, give examples, and tell stories. Be a great storyteller.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to tell a story, then sign up for Ken's program.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another example. So one of the things that people get into is, dare I say, network marketing.
I love network marketing.
I know you do. Some people cringe at it. Some people had a lot of failures with it. I think 90% of the people, and they end up going, okay, I'm going to call the top 25 guys on my phone.
Right.
And that lasts about 3 days.
Yeah.
And then they kind of they lose out on prospects.
Yeah.
Tell me how you've seen live streaming and social media work for those that are in network marketing.
Well, with network marketing, first off, you're not allowed to run an ad on Facebook or Google for your network or YouTube for your network marketing business.
Yep.
Allow it. It's against their TOS. So how else do you do? Well, you can walk through the gas, go pump gas. They all say, hey, network market, all you got to do is talk to the guy at the next gas pump. And okay, well, how often are you putting gas in your car? And what if it's a Tesla? So right.
Or you're in quarantine and you're not driving to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But so what are the other alternatives? There's a lot of alternatives, but if I go live and I say, hey man, I am somebody turned me on to these right here, these little Michigan cinnamon gummy things.
Yeah.
And dude, I got to tell you right now, pretend this is a network marketing thing that I'm doing.
Right.
I got to tell you right now, these are the best. In fact, it says deliciously addictive flavor. My mouth's literally watering right now thinking about popping one of these cinnamon things because they're that good. And what's cool is they're healthy, and man, you gotta check these out. If you guys want to check them out, let me know. Just send me a message, and I'll tell you how to get some. These are amazing, and you can go on and say, as a matter of fact, you know what I'd like to do, and I'd come up with a contest before going live, some kind of a contest where I go, you know what, the first 3 people to send me a message, I'm going to send you a free sample of these. How about that? Who doesn't like free stuff? And then you're going to get, and most network marketing companies are like, if they like the product, it's going to sell itself. And then they're going to say, how do I help people get on this?
Right.
Patch or potion or lotion or whatever it is. Right. So again, I would be going live all the time, building my brand of me personally, without I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, this is how you, I wouldn't mention the company. Definitely wouldn't do that. Plus most companies, I believe in network marketing, they don't want you mentioning their company names on live streams because it's so regulated. There's a lot of regulations. So,
right, but you could talk about the subject. Let's say if you were selling prepaid legal services, you wouldn't mention the company, but you could answer here's some legal problems that people run into, and here's problems, and here's
how much is a prepaid legal a year? Like $100 a year or something or whatever. I don't know what it is, but hey, if you ever needed an attorney, or if you ever have needed, or no, I know of a service, man. It's like nothing, and most attorneys you're looking at $500 to $500,000 to hire one. It just depends on the situation. And this is so I mean, there's ways to talk about it without coming off sounding cheesy, without coming off sounding all salesy. I mean, there's times when I'll say, like, I have a free ebook, by the way. I should have mentioned that, but to you before we started, but it's called 100livestreamsecrets.com.
Okay.
And it's a great book that I wrote, and it's 100 live stream secrets and ideas. And so it gives you some secret tips to live streaming. Plus, it also gives you 100 different ideas. It's so good, in fact, that Jeffrey Gitomer, who's a 4 times New York Times bestselling author, asked me to write a chapter about it in this new book that he has coming out. This book comes out this month, actually. And I go through, and like, you can go in and an introduction of you and who you are. Tell your story. Tell people who you are. Like,
I mean, you could start with that, and I think you could also talk about that day, the people that you helped, or answer a common question. Next thing I would like to address. Okay, so you're doing the live streaming. What are you doing to proactively grow the number of followers? Is there something other than just the live streaming and the organic growth? Do you have other methods that you are getting new followers?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. First, I go in and I don't boost anymore. I used to go in and boost the videos on my fan page. I would boost, like, if I did a great interview, I'd go spend $20 and boost it. Now I run a video ad and a video views ad, and I'll put it out there. And you can get, for a couple $100, you can get over 100,000 views on a video if it's done right. So on a fan page.
Is that on Facebook or
on Facebook fan page, a Facebook business page, fan page, whatever, same thing.
Okay. And is that getting you new followers?
It gets you new followers, plus it gets you a lot of views on your videos.
Okay, great.
So,
okay. Yeah. Are you doing that also on YouTube? Have you gone and taken your live stream YouTube videos and done that?
All of my videos are on YouTube. I have, I don't know, 1,500 videos or something on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I have not done any advertising on YouTube yet.
Okay. So you're spending your money and you're building your fan base primarily through your Facebook page.
Facebook and Instagram, because now I hired a VA, and she helps me take my interviews, and she makes little clips, snippets of it. And then I use a tool that does the subtitling of all the videos. So if she takes a 5-minute clip out of a video for me, or 2 minutes, it'll drop this in, subtitles everything, and you can go in and then you take that and throw it out there on Instagram. And as long as it's a minute or less, then you can go in there and boost your Instagram for next to nothing and get a lot more followers.
Okay, great. So now that's a great tactic. So you take the video, you cut it down into little bits.
Yeah.
You repurpose little sound bites from that. You put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Getting more followers there.
Yeah.
And you're building a little bit of a content team. Now you got a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
You're now delegating some of the work.
Yeah.
Grant's got a team. Gary Vaynerchuk's got a team.
Yeah. We all do. I mean, if you don't have a team, you need to get one. It's fun.
Yeah. I work with 2 VAs every morning that are working on, like, this video right now will turn into a blog post, and it will turn into a podcast that will be streamed on 16 live different podcasts, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to repurpose this content in several ways. Then I'll take about 30 to 40 interviews and I'll turn that into a book.
Yeah.
And what you're doing, you're repurposing the content.
Always.
And you're building a content team. And you can find VAs inexpensively with good skills.
Yep. Very inexpensively and incredible skills.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you go into these details in your course.
That's part of what I'm getting ready to film and drop in, is how to hire a VA, where to find them, and all that. And there's some, I don't want to say tricks to that, but you got to know what to look for and how to communicate.
Right. Okay, great. So kind of wrapping up our interview, and look, Ken, we're going to do more live streams. I want to do more live streams with you, like on how to hire a VA. We should do one on that.
Yeah.
You list out 3 or 4. I'd love to have you back. Maybe once a month we just do a half an hour, and you kind of update everybody on the next evolution. And of course we'll let everybody know about your coaching program.
Yeah. Dude, may I say one last thing?
Yeah.
This live streaming and becoming obsessed with it for my business has been, Amazon literally gave me an influencer store. They said, I don't know how they researched, I don't know why, but because of all the fans, because of the following and all the live streams, they gave me a store. And then just 2 months ago, they reached out to me and they asked me if I would be part of the Amazon Live program. Wow. Amazon Influencer Live. So I am one of a handful of people. When I say a handful, I'm thinking maybe 100 people on planet Earth that are allowed to live stream on Amazon directly to all of their customers. Martha Stewart is one of them. So, that's how big it's grown for me. It's huge.
And I think you bring up a really good point. All this outflow has gotten you enough attention where now big brands are coming to you.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest brand, Amazon. I mean, is there a brand bigger than
retail?
Retail.
No.
So but you didn't envision that 5 years ago when you were on Periscope. Oh, I'll get Amazon. Like it, big oak trees come from little acorns.
That's right. That's right. And that's my, I wasn't saying that to brag. I was just saying like, wow, I can't even believe it.
No, I don't think it's bragging. I think what you're stating is that major opportunities will come your way if you dedicate yourself to really helping others and push out there your vision, your help, your stories, your tips. I think what it is, the reason why it came to you is because the universe saw that you were a helper. And that you were committed to help. And the universe said, you know what, Ken, you've helped others so much. We're going to give you Amazon so that you can increase your purpose even further.
It's insane.
Isn't it?
It's insane. It's really cool. It's insane, though.
It actually is cool. But I believe in that kind of karma, of, it takes, if you take care of life somehow comes back and goes, thanks. Guess what? I'm going to give you more of me so that you can help more people.
Amen, dude. Amen. Yeah. It's crazy.
So Ken, hey, first of all, thank you so much for being on this show. You've offered so much insight, so many great tips. I know that we're going to be doing other shows together here in the future.
I'm down.
How to do VAs.
Yeah.
Deeper strategies on, how to live stream, how to grow. Like, I think we could do a whole show on how to advertise. On Facebook and how to grow your followers. I think that right there is a really hot topic.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so I want you guys to go to kenwalls.com and I want you to sign up for your program. Ken, I get I'm part of a company. I'm a board member and I'll be getting a bonus here in a few weeks. And then when I do, I'll sign up for your program.
I think you'll love it, dude. That includes a weekly coaching call. I didn't even mention this to you. Like my best friend is Glenn Morshower, who's been an actor for 45 years in Hollywood and been in 250 movies. And so Glenn is one of the most spiritually advanced people I've ever known in my life. He comes into the coaching calls and he's done it 3 times now and teaches for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, where he lets people do Q&As with him. And I've had Jeffrey Gitomer, the king of sales, come in and do some coaching, and I do coaching in there. I had Craig Duswalt, who toured with Guns N' Roses for 4.5 years. He was on last night. He did the coaching call, and he's a marketing genius. So I get some really big names that are jumping in, and these people are also members of the Grow Live Academy. So it's a family now, man. There's 84 people in there, and it's literally turning into this really cool little family. I love it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're building a family, you're building a community. It sounds like you got some A-listers in there.
Yeah.
And wow, what an opportunity to be a part of that. So guys, reach out to Ken. I'm telling you, this is what there's a lot of marketers who talk.
Yeah.
Then there's the guys who walk the walk every single day in, day out, sick, healthy, cold, tired. They just get on that live stream and they do it.
Yeah.
And look, now he's got Amazon beating down his door. What a great example.
That's funny, dude. I don't know about beating down my door, but they reached out. It was cool.
I'm a marketer. I like to use.
I know. I love it. I love it. You can be my new pitch man. You're the new front man.
Okay, guys. Well, this has been another edition of Growth Driven. Looking forward to doing more live streams with leaders, social media leaders like Ken. And Ken, again, thank you so much.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate you.
And out we go.